A great property is important, of course, but it only really makes sense when the life around it already works. This is Puerto Banus, and if you had to live somewhere full-time, not on vacation, this detail would matter more than the property itself. That balance between luxury and simplicity is extremely rare, and it's what makes you feel grounded instead of disconnected. Most people only understand that after they have already moved here. The Eastern Promenade doesn't ask anything from you. It doesn't try to impress or entertain. You simply walk, breathe, and fall into a natural rhythm. No one is rushing, no one is performing, and that calm immediately tells you something important about the kind of life that exists around here. Some places look beautiful but feel distant, while others feel familiar almost immediately. And feeling at home has very little to do with the image and everything to do with how easily you fit into daily life. Here, nothing forces you to adapt. The environment adapts to you. You don't feel like a visitor observing a lifestyle from the outside. You feel included in it, quietly and naturally. I ran into a friend here today. We stopped for a short conversation about normal things, family, work, life. Nothing special, and that's exactly the point. In many luxury locations, everything feels impressive but strangely distant. Here, even inside a very high-quality environment, relationships remain simple and human. This promenade works on quiet mornings, ordinary afternoons, and slow evenings. It doesn't depend on season, mood, or special occasions. It simply supports daily life. And that consistency is what people end up valuing most, because real life happens on normal days, not exceptional ones. A good life doesn't end when the walk is over. What really matters is how seamlessly your day continues. And that's where practicality becomes just as important as beauty. That's where Marbella reveals another layer. Places like El Corte Inglés are not really about shopping. They are about access and availability. Everything you might need exists here calmly in one place, without friction or urgency. You are not pushed into decisions. You are given space, and that changes how your entire day feels. Perfumes, clothing, household items, appliances, restaurants, cafes, everything exists within the same environment and at the same pace. Perfume, for example, is one of the most personal choices you can make, and it's something you don't choose in a hurry. This environment understands that. It respects your rhythm, your space, your time. Style here feels effortless. Quality is visible, but nothing is shouting for attention. People are not just performing elegance. They are simply living inside it. As you walk through the home sections and everyday essentials, lifestyle becomes tangible. You see how people actually live, the tools they use, the objects they rely on daily. Everything feels considered, functional, and designed to last. Even the restaurants and cafes follow the same philosophy. You don't need to leave the space to pause, eat, or have a conversation. Life flows naturally between errands, coffee, meals, and moment, all within the same rhythm. There's no separation between tasks and enjoyment, and that integration makes everyday life feel lighter. Convenience, in this sense, isn't about speed, it's about mental space. When everything is close and accessible, your mind relaxes. You stop planning every detail, and that freedom quietly changes how your days feel, and eventually, how long you choose to stay. As you move to the supermarket area, the difference becomes very clear. This isn't a place for occasional or emergency shopping. This is where people do their everyday groceries. High-quality food, fresh ingredients, international products, local specialties, and a level of variety that supports real cooking and real routines. You can shop for a normal week here without compromise. Nothing feels chaotic or rushed. People take their time. They choose carefully. You can tell that quality is expected, not marketed. Beyond the supermarket, the same logic continues throughout the entire space. People who value environments like this usually approach housing the same way. They don't rush. They think long-term. They look for places that support the life they already enjoy, rather than trying to build a lifestyle around a property. A great property is important, of course, but it only really makes sense when the life around it already works. And places like this are where that life quietly takes shape.